Modeled after high-performance surfboard grips, the FOAMIES allow you to grab the end of the board with your foot and make it super easy to jump off any time. The wedge shape inside grabs the edge of your shoe for a secure hold. The foam forms around your foot while still maintaining its overall stiffness and shape. They also feature curved mounting holes so you can adjust to your stance angles. The foam hardness and material is similar to a yoga block with 65A durometer and EVA foam. Hey everyone, Aaron here, founder and CEO at Summerboard. I'm super excited to introduce the FOAMIES to you today. This is our latest accessory that makes learning the board a lot easier and also a lot more accessible for anyone just picking up the board for the first time. In this video, we're going to go through who should be riding the FOAMIES, what they're best for, and what I love about them personally. And as a bonus, we're going to go through some switch riding tips because this is really great for using to learn your switch riding. And finally, check the link in the description below if you want to get a pair of these for yourself. So let's get started. We developed the FOAMIES with the intention of kind of a surf pad on your feet that you can really control the board well with, jump off easier, and they fit in the existing mounting holes that are already on the board. Now personally, I love the Pro footholds. I love the control that you get. You can jump with them, you can go high speed and know that that board is going to stay right under you, right where you want it to be within 1 millimeter. So I didn't really expect to like the FOAMIES. I thought they'd just be great for new riders. And boy was I wrong. I love riding with the FOAMIES. And I actually keep them on my board for 90% of the time. Casual riding, charging the car, or just strolling around the neighborhood after work. Now, I still use the Pro footholds for hills or riding at top speed or jumping, but unless I'm doing those things or having a really hardcore ride, I just love riding the FOAMIES. Now there are a few reasons why I love riding the FOAMIES. First is what I mentioned before, the casual ride. You know, I don't always want to get super padded up and bomb a hill or try to do some jumps or go top speed. You know, I might just have a few minutes waiting outside while the family's in the grocery store, you know, to just shred a few laps around the parking lot. And it's just great for that. Now the second thing I love about the FOAMIES is that it's such a low profile. Again, I can just toss this in my car. I don't have to worry about the footholds catching on something or, you know, taking up more space because they're a lot higher off the board. I feel like it's just kind of more grab and go, and I can get a session in 5 minutes. You know, sometimes it takes you 5-10 minutes just to put all your pads on. And I still ride with the helmet, of course, but I can just toss my helmet on, toss the board on the ground, and go out for a 5-10 minute shred. Now, the biggest reason why I love the FOAMIES is that it really taught me how to ride switch. I've been riding the Summerboard for 6 years. Thanks to the FOAMIES, I finally learned how to ride switch just in the last few weeks. And what I realized is, I never thought I was scared of using the Pro footholds, but in switch I was definitely nervous about bailing out of the Pro footholds. And I think just in general, that's the thing you're worried about when you're snowboarding, when you're switch. You're just kind of freaked out about bailing. And the FOAMIES kind of take all that away because you can just jump straight out. It's just so easy. And so I really didn't even have the intention of learning to ride switch. I just started to flip it around and try to ride switch. And I realized that fear of bailing wasn't there, and I learned to ride switch so much faster. And from my experience, learning to ride switch was such a big upgrade in my riding and fun when I finally got back on the mountain. Now, I would say the FOAMIES are right for you in a few scenarios. First off, if you want to learn to ride switch, the FOAMIES are amazing for that. Now, you don't have to use the FOAMIES. You can just ride switch with nothing on the board or use the Pro footholds, of course. But I like to ease into things, and if that's your style, I would say the FOAMIES are the best at learning to finally ride switch. The FOAMIES are also great for people that are nervous about using the Pro footholds, and it's a way to get more control on the board and just jump off a lot easier. And finally, I'd say the FOAMIES are great for riders that are just more casual. They just want to get a few turns in 5 or 10 minute sessions. You know, toss it out of the trunk of your car and go for a quick shred. The FOAMIES are great for that. So when learning to ride switch, the main hurdle that I had going into it was keeping my weight on my back foot. Just remember that when you go into switch, you really have to keep your weight on your back foot, which is the opposite foot of which you really ride with. As soon as you get that and you can get comfortable and remember to put your weight back, it's going to get a lot easier and everything's really going to fall into place. Now, the next tip I have is that learning to ride switch is a lot like learning to snowboard all over again. You don't have those snowboarding instincts riding switch. It really helped having that memory of, ride this board like a balance beam, keep that center balance point. Eventually, once I learned to ride switch, I could kind of then bring in my snowboarding instincts and meld everything together. But really it's helpful in the beginning to think of it more like a balance beam, and then the snowboarding instincts can take over. Finally, I would say to do short sessions. I really just did 10 to 20 minute sessions while I was charging my car, and I only did this about twice a week. And after 3 weeks, I really felt like I had switched down. That's only 6 sessions. And you're really gonna be happy you did, because it really transfers well to snow. This last winter, I took a trip to Lake Tahoe. It was my first time there, and just the lake, seeing it, it was so trippy because I've never snowboarded in front of a lake, and I always wanted to be looking at the lake. And because I could ride switch, whether we were going east or west, I could flip around and always keep the lake in my view while I was shredding. And that was just the biggest reward ever. It really is true. You have twice the fun when you're riding switch. So definitely take the time and learn it this summer and then apply it this winter, and you're going to be so happy you did. If you want a set of FOAMIES for yourself, click the link in the description below. And remember, we're always making new videos with skills training, new products, and adventures. If you want to keep up to date with the latest and greatest Summerboard content, you know what to do. And now it's time to go shred. No, for real, let's go shred.